What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James, talking to you today about Ethereum Classic, which has been on a bit of a tear as a result of, well, possibly, but what I believe is as a result of sort of Vitalik Buterin talking about it with positivity, certainly in comparison to the upcoming Ethereum fork or Ethereum POW, and effectively what I want to talk about, or effectively is pose the question is Ethereum Classic run based upon Vitalik Buterin's mention, because we've seen that same impact with things like Loopring. So I'll have a look. Before then, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. Had you invested $100 into each of these when I released videos about them and you're still holding all that crypto, you'd be in profit for around 14k. If, however, you'd have cashed out of those cryptos during the bull cycle, you'd have been in profit for 123k. Difference. That's the difference. But the beauty is that when you invest in the bear cycle, you're going to get this crazy returns, as seen for these and NKN, to be fair, which is also 61x. If you want to see the coins I'm buying up in this bear cycle, the ones I think are going to have those massive gains, you can come check out Copy My Crypto. Links in the description. On the site, everything is verifiable because it's all on my YouTube channel. So if the site resonates with you, come join me. If it doesn't, keep watching the channel, because without you guys, folks, there is no channel, and I massively appreciate the channel support. A year and a half ago, I was on 500 subscribers, so thank you. And yeah, if you're interested, the link for Copy My Crypto is in the description. Jesus fucking Christ, by the way, folks. Just saying it. It's like 30-something degrees in England. Way too hot for me. I hate it. So, Ethereum Classic's on about 12% run today. If you just look over the past sort of 7 days, it's actually up. What's the maths on that? $9, 34. You're looking at least, about 30%, a little more than 30. Yeah, about 30%. It's a pretty good run in a 7-day window. And fundamentally, what ended up happening, there were articles coming out around the 9th and a couple of days prior as well. Vitalik Buterin and Justin Sun started clashing over Ethereum's future, with Vitalik Buterin essentially questioning, why do we need Ethereum proof of work when we have Ethereum Classic? So, ignoring all the moves that fundamentally Bitcoin are making and the Celsius short squeeze, which I've sort of spoken about, what I actually want to look at, key thing, is what's happening with Ethereum. So we're now roughly a month before the merge, and Vitalik Buterin and Justin Sun have been sort of at each other's throats a little bit. Buterin has been very dismissive of people's efforts to maintain a sort of proof of work system, given that a proof of stake is less energy intensive, should result in cheaper transactions, although I still wait to see if that happens, and also because the shift from to proof of stake with the changing in distribution mechanism, Ethereum will effectively become deflationary. So what he had to say was, look, I'm not expecting proof of work to have a substantial long-term adoption. And this was at a press conference, ETHSol, which was part of a blockchain mega week, which has been happening in South Korea. So he said, a couple of outsiders that have exchanges just want to make a quick buck. I just don't see this organic aspect to it. And CoinDesk pointed out, unsurprisingly, when QuickBook is mentioned, Justin Sun emerges with certainly a piss-take tone. Now, obviously, Justin Sun, founder of Tron, is a cheerleader for an Ethereum hard fork that would maintain proof of work. He said Tron's USDD would be the first stablecoin on what he is calling the Ethereum proof of work protocol. And his own exchange, Poloniex, would list it. What he said is, look, Poloniex which is taking the first steps towards listing, won't be taking any fees from trading the Ethereum Proof of Work token. It's all for the public good, he says. Now, what I would point out is, look, they're going to take some trading fees. Whether or not they take a month to do it or 12 months to do it, of course they're going to end up taking trading fees, and of course it's going to be very profitable for them. So regardless, CoinGecko data says there's not much comparable market interest in it, with only 3.1 million in volume changing hands on the first day. Buterin said, look, I don't expect Ethereum to be really be significantly harmed by another fork. My impression from everyone I talked to in the Ethereum ecosystem is that they've been completely supportive of the proof of stake effort, and the ecosystem has been quite united around it. He also points out anyone who wants to remain using proof of work in Ethereum will just stick with Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic was the original Ethereum until that massive hack in 2016. And after the fork, Ethereum was created. But Ethereum Classic is technically the original. And Buterin says, look, I think Ethereum Classic already has a superior community and a superior product for people kind of with those pro proof of work values and preferences. And do the markets agree? Well, CoinGecko data shows that Ethereum Classic has $1.16 billion in trading volume compared to the 3.1 million mark that Ethereum POW has gotten in daily volume. And over a year and a half for Ethereum Classic's volume to consistently hit that waterline. So arguably, Ethereum Proof of Work has already started, well, it's outperforming Ethereum Classic based on Ethereum Classic's history. Although I would argue that's a bullshit metric, because fundamentally you also do need to remember when Ethereum Classic hit that $3.1 million mark in volume. It was when less people knew about crypto, where there was less volume on a daily basis across the entire market. Now we're seeing consistently a couple $100 billion worth of volume. It's not, it's apples and oranges. You can't compare the two. All you can say is Ethereum Proof of Work has reached $3.1 million. It's not a fair comparison to go, beat Ethereum Classic. Well, it fucking should. There's a lot more trading volume today and in 2022 than there was 5 years ago. Yeah. So we're going to see, but fundamentally, look, there's some truth that the discussions from these highly influential people in the space does have an impact on the market. I'll talk about that a little bit in a second. But Justin Sun has vowed to back an Ethereum fork, which has obviously caused some level of concern, but not just because Justin Sun said it. Just overall, people will get concerned about an additional hard fork, particularly, we saw historically like a diluted version of Bitcoin being reintroduced multiple times. And I suppose that's potentially the fear. Not that Justin Sun's going to be this influential figure. But Sun joined FirstMover, which is effectively a podcast or TV on CoinDesk, where he explained his position. He also explained, why he believes that it's going to be good for the overall space. I personally disagree. I don't think there's going to bring particularly any value. The bigger point actually is fundamentally about Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik Buterin is obviously, a genius in terms of intellect, but in terms of also what he's produced over the course of time. And what he discusses has an impact. When you look historically at when he's released a sort of blog post, particularly when he's like name checked previous layer 2s. Like Loopring was one that he's thrown out in interviews and in blog posts before. And we've seen from the launch of the blog post or from the interview appearance, whether it was like a Lex Friedman or just a large YouTube channel, we've seen that those layer 2s or whatever that he's discussed that's been name checked specifically by him have ran really well in price. And arguably that could be it. I mean, we do have to bear in mind that we've seen market appreciation over the past 48 hours. So that will always have an impact on the altcoins, and Ethereum Classic is an altcoin. But across the past 7 days, a 30% appreciation is damn good. And you can make the argument that Vitalik's discussion and the name checking of, look, why would you use some new hard fork when you've already got a perfect proof of work system in Ethereum Classic? Not that he used the word perfect, but the name check may well have been enough for that to just to make traders go, you know what, this is going to run. And arguably, following Vitalik Buterin on Twitter and following and having alerts in case he releases a blog post or has an interview are probably worthwhile, because he is influential and what he says has ramifications for the space. And yeah, that's my thesis, really. It's not necessarily, look, Ethereum Classic is obviously, I've never been the biggest fan of Ethereum Classic because fundamentally we've seen too many attacks on it over the past 4 or 5 years now. But and the fact that we've seen those attacks on the network, I don't think is great. I don't like to see that. It doesn't fill me with confidence from an investing standpoint. But it's the original Ethereum. However you want to look at it, it is actually what Ethereum was meant to be. It ended up, Ethereum is a fork of Ethereum Classic. So, however you look at it, there's something there. But I suppose the question I want to pose to you guys is, look, is Vitalik Buterin, has he moved the Ethereum Classic price? And is Vitalik Buterin, does what Vitalik Buterin says have the Coinbase effect? It's an interesting question. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you know when new content is coming out. And yeah, let me know what you think about my sort of thesis. Is Vitalik Buterin's word as impact? Are we seeing that what he says as impactful as those sort of Coinbase listing moments? Maybe not to the same level, but you draw the parallel. What do you think? And guys, if you want to see the coins I'm buying up in the bear cycle, come check out Copy My Crypto. I bought a couple of coins in this bear cycle. I've got strong positions. I'm going to look at supplementing and adding to all of those positions, along with building in some new positions of cryptos that I think can do 40x's, 50x's, 100x. So if you want to see what those coins are, come check out Copy My Crypto, guys. The link is in the description. If you like the site, if it resonates with you, everything that's on there, come join me. If it doesn't, carry on watching the channel, because, as I've said before, without you guys, there is no channel. And that's it for me. Take it easy.